So for this Throwback Thursday video, we're going to review what we did for the week of January 13th on Monday. Of course, we started our week, our day, with a journal, and our journal was a quote from the poet Emily Dickinson. And then we had our Monday meeting. In our Monday meeting, we discussed that this week we're going to focus on our independent reading project, practicing some writing techniques, and working on some test prep. I said last week we did a fairly good job cleaning our room, and we still need to work on growth mindset, really taking to heart the lessons that we should be learning from our journals. And then we said we were going to talk about active and passive voice. On Tuesday, or actually, let me go back here. On Monday, we had some time to do Membean. We went over our interloper quiz, and I explained here that we're going to be doing a few more of these quizzes with articles from our Scope magazine and from other sources. And these really are going to serve as some test preparation opportunities. You're going to see questions just like these on AIR tests. So if you come across a question and you really do not understand why the right answer is the right answer, please be asking questions because this will help you in the future. We also spent some time on Monday going over our independent reading time or reading project. There is a chart on Google Classroom that you should have been working on all week. It actually is due before you walk in tomorrow. I helped a number of people fill in their charts. If you're struggling in any area of the chart, please let me know ASAP so I can help you get through that. Also, I told you guys that I was not really happy with myself and how I addressed students who were behind or missing assignments last semester. So I'm trying to do a better job of checking in with you guys and making sure that you're keeping up with stuff. So make sure you're doing your part. You're making sure you're checking in on Progress Book and Google Classroom and checking in with me so that if you miss anything, you can go back and do it, and so that we're not at the end of the quarter, floundering and struggling to get the work done. Then on Tuesday, we again had some more time to work on Membean and our independent reading project, the chart in Google Classroom. Then we went over active and passive voice and had some time to work on our No Red Ink assignment. I'm going to get back to that in just a little bit as we review for your quiz tomorrow. And then again, I kind of checked in with some people about some missing assignments. On Wednesday, we had a 2-hour delay, so we had shortened periods. So really, this was more or less a work day. In our second half of class, we did read an article about jewels in your Scope magazine. It's the blue one with the airplane on the front. And we're actually going to be using that and talking about that tomorrow and some of next week because it has to do with advertising. And we have talked a lot in class about advertising. And then, so today, we continue that discussion about advertising, and we started watching a video featuring Malcolm Gladwell. He's a researcher. Parents, if you get the opportunity, click on that link there, that Malcolm Gladwell link. I think you'll find that interesting. I hope your students did. We didn't finish it today. We're actually going to finish it on Friday, tomorrow. But we learned some very interesting things about the food industry and advertising and how companies try to reach us. So we are going to be continuing that idea tomorrow and throughout next week. So actually, that's what I want to kind of get to now is tomorrow, of course, we'll have our quizzes. I'm going to go over that No Red Ink stuff here in just a moment. And then we're going to be talking more about the advertising stuff, talking about the Malcolm Gladwell video, finishing that up. And then I'm going to give you guys a project. And that's something we're going to be working on for about a week or so. I don't want to get too much into that right now, but part of your homework for the weekend, or really your only homework for the weekend, is to be thinking about this advertising project. You're going to be working in your groups, and you'll have a specific task. Again, I'm going to go in more specifics about that tomorrow, and I'll probably even post a video about it just so we're all on the same page. And so this weekend, I just want you to think about it and maybe ask your parents for their opinions. They're pretty wise people. All right, let's get over to our No Red Ink assignment now, or our lesson. So we were talking about active and passive voice. So for the first two activities, we were simply finding the verbs. So in this example, we've got goats are groomed on the farm near Professor Moody's house. So the goats are being groomed. They're the ones receiving this action. So are groomed is the verb that we're looking for here. Then the next one. We've got Severus Snape's movie about a flying robot was praised by the film critic. So the film critic is doing the praising. So we know that this is going to be passive voice, as it says here. Was praised is the verb. Now, if we were actually asked to fix this particular sentence, we would want this film critic to be our subject, and that film critic would be at the beginning of the sentence, but we'll get to that. All right. So then the next one, okay, now we're finding active verbs. So again, it's the same idea. It's just the sentences, when we talked about this in class, are written differently. So for these, select the verb activities, you're just finding the verbs in the sentence, whether it's an active verb or a passive verb. So Nala crossed the park by doing cartwheels. Crossed is our verb. Let's do another passive voice verb. So Luna Lovegood's surfboard is being painted. That's going to be all three of those right there. Is being painted with colorful patterns. We've got, all right, now we've got one of those ones where we have to correct the sentence if needed. Not all of them need correcting. So you have to correct the sentence so that it's an active voice. So the original sentence up here says, all of Katniss Everdeen's jokes are retold by me. By, remember, is one of those red flag words that should tell us that's in passive voice, and we can write it better. We can write it in active voice. So it's an actively, or an active sentence. So remember, we got to take the subject, whoever's doing the action, in this case it's me, move it to the front of the sentence, get rid of that word by. We don't start sentences with me, all of Katniss Everdeen's. Yeah, that's not going to work, so we're probably going to change that to I. Yep. Right after the subject, we need the verb. I'm telling all her jokes, so I need to move that over here. So it says, I are retold all of Katniss Everdeen's jokes. Well, that's not going to work. These little dots, remember, mean that we can change it. I retold. Or I retell. This is where it was tripping some people up because they didn't know which tense to use. Your clues are up in the original sentence. Remember, it says, do not change the meaning or the tense. So it says, all of Katniss Everdeen's jokes are retold, as though that's happening still right now. I'm doing it currently. So we want, I retell all of Katniss Everdeen's jokes. I are retold obviously does not work. I retold all of Katniss Everdeen's jokes. That's grammatically okay, but it's not the same tense as what the original sentence was suggesting. This is telling me I already did it, like it's been done. So actually we want, I retell all of Katniss Everdeen's jokes. All right, let's do another. President Snow's tea party was attended by me. It's actually very similar to our previous one. Me, I am the one doing the action. I'm attending the party. So I need to change that to I. Was attended means it already happened, past tense. So we're going to say I attended, not attend, I attended. Was is our clue there. It already happened, past tense. So I need to make sure it's the past tense of the verb attend. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get rid of the word by here. Remember, we got to get rid of that. Down here, now we have an active sentence. I attended President Snow's tea party. Beautiful. All right, so that's all I'm going to go through with you here. I think that should give you enough. If you have any last minute questions, you can email me or see me before class starts tomorrow, but I think we'll be ready to go for Friday. Enjoy the rest of your night.